brush off your cheek, still aching as your hands grip at your sides. It wrecks your dress. Daring words, do you believe that I've been stealing time? And all that hurts will only fade as the days fly, and then you'll open up your arms, and you'll be soon to let me in here, free from the heartache of this harm. When we're the only ones who'll be here, and when you cry, the eyeliner will slip beneath your eyes. You catch your breath.
Hi, I'm Terry Ann Bennett, and welcome to Skills and Drills for Alpine Skiing Performance. What we're going to bring to you today are some skills and drills to make you a better alpine skier in an all-mountain environment. These skills and drills are a blend from many different ideas and ski systems around the world, from Chile and New Zealand, where I've worked as an instructor, from USSA and CSIA, which brings you ski racing ideas, and CSIA and PSIA, which are known for ski instruction. So join us and come link it up out on the hill. Let's go. A good understanding of simple biomechanics will help you out a lot on the hill. What we're going to talk about right now is how the ankle, knee, hip, and spine needs to flex and extend all of the time while we're skiing. Let's take a look at these basic biomechanics. A lot of times people tell me on the hill, why am I moving back? Well, bend only in the hips. When you bend in the hips only, your derriere moves back and out. Now bend only in the knees. Notice again how the derriere is moving back and out. Now, bounce in the ankles. Notice how my hips are staying right over my feet. That's the essential skill of biomechanics. All your body parts over your feet. My spine also flexes. All of my joints, ankle, knee, hips, and spine, flexing and extending all the time. Now, where do we want to be flexing in our boot cuffs? Imagine you had a clock in front of you like this. Now, point to 10. And now point to 2. That's where you're going to be moving in your boots, 10 and 2. So we're tall in our boots, and then we want to flex through the boot cuff to 10. Tall in our boots, flexing through the boot cuff to 2. Again, flexing to 10, flexing to 2. Notice when I'm flexing in my boots towards 10, my skis tip up on edge at the same time. The same thing happens if I flex towards 2. The skis go up on edge at the same time. This allows us to move through the boot cuff, which tips the skis on edge. This is the lateral movement we're looking for in our skiing. So let's go link it up and move our ankles, knees, hips, and spine, flexing 10 and 2. Let's go. Upper body, lower body separation is very important. Many skiers have heard this called skiing in and out of anticipation or countering and counterbalancing. They all basically mean the same thing. How much movement do you want your upper body looking down the hill? Well, look at this. If I'm already twisted all the way down the hill, try to flex this outside ankle. Notice you don't have any flexion in this outside ankle. Bring your upper body to where you can finally flex the ankle. That's the maximum amount of counter you want in your skiing. Too much counter, you can't balance through the ankles. Too little counter, we're following our skis and it makes it difficult to hold an edge. So where do I want to be? Belly button, facing down the hill in the direction of travel. Many times I've asked students, so what are you doing in your boots? And they say shin tongue, or leaning against the front of the boot cuff. Well, that's an old teaching technique that we used many, many years ago. What it does is it forces you to lean on the boot cuff. What we learned earlier was we need to be flexing that ankle joint to stay in balance. But what happens if you're leaning on the boot cuff? Try it out. Yeah, that's right. It locks up the ankle. So the next available joints are the hip and the knee. And remember, if you move those joints first, guess what happens? That's right, you've put yourself in the back seat. So free up that ankle joint. Get off the front of the boot cuff and think about moving through the boot cuff. Moving towards 10 or moving towards 2, but never hanging on that boot cuff. Because if you do, you've locked up your motion. People often ask, what type of stance should I have when I ski? Well, look at the space between my feet. That's my natural athletic stance. How did I get that stance? Jump up and down 3 times. When you land, that's where your femurs naturally come out of your hip sockets. This is a good, comfortable athletic stance. Next, we want to talk about what type of stances we use in different situations. If I am skiing bumps or powder or crud, I'd like a more versatile stance, so slightly narrower than my traditional athletic stance. But if I'm in a race course and I want a larger, wider base of support for more stability, again, I'll make the stance slightly wider. But try this. If your stance is too wide, you'll notice you don't have a lot of ankle flexion, and that's the joint we learned we balance through. If my stance is too narrow, I can't tip my feet on edge. Therefore, I don't have any edging control on my skis. So a correct athletic stance is bounce 3 times and land, and that's your natural athletic stance. In skiing, balancing through our core is very important. We ski from the feet and movements originate from the feet, but we balance through our core. So it's so important to have functional tension in our core. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Think about this. When you're walking, your upper body and your lower body are pretty much up and down. But as you start to run, notice how my upper body has moved forward. The angle from my ankle to my knee is the same from my hip to my shoulder. So as pitch and speed increase, so are the angles of my upper and lower body. This and this need to remain at the same angles to be in balance. That's the power of angles. The next thing we're going to talk about is your functional tension. If Serena Williams is receiving a tennis serve at 125 miles an hour, is she like this or is she standing like this? How many times have we been caught off guard skiing steep terrain, standing up in walk mode or in relax mode? We need to be in our athletic stance. So just imagine that tennis ball coming at you fast. Get forward and get strong. Feel the tension in your core area.